I think university is a time where you find yourself. This is a time where I've truly learnt my potential and what I'm capable of.
We had 24 students from the University of Newcastle come along to Borneo. We spent 3 days in the Borneo jungle and we looked at orangutans in their habitat. It was amazing.
The skills that I've gained over those years and even watched and reflected on how much I've learnt, it amazes me.
I'm the first one in my family to graduate. My dad always said to me, he said, only brain can make a man. That means only knowledge can make a man. And I always had, the voice of my dad in the back of my head, saying that I could do it. Graduation was a major achievement in my life.
I started the university as an able-bodied kid, and then I had an accident after my second year. So that dream as a young kid from a disadvantaged background of throwing that cap and gown into it almost puts a tear in my eye of having that sense of achievement.
I was doing some volunteer work. One of the volunteer boss said to me that if you really like helping people, why don't you become a nurse? I want graduates to be bold, be courageous, and be your best.
I think it is very important to focus on your purpose because there will be a lot of issues, a lot of challenges facing ahead, and being able to overcome each time, I think it's what's important.
It's a wonderful feeling to be an alumni. You have this connection with other alumni, other students who have graduated.
Not just national, but also it's global scale.
Having a community behind you is probably the greatest thing you can have, apart from your family and friends, because it really is just a bigger version of them.
A family that is now around the world.
We've all come together as one, and we're all going to be lifelong friends.
When I step out on that stage, I'm not going to be able to stop smiling. I think I've worked really hard for the last 3 years, and a lot of other people have as well, so it's going to be a day to remember and a day to cherish.
I just enjoy the moment.
Words can't describe it.
It lasts a few seconds, but you really will remember it forever.
The world is your oyster. You really don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. You don't know what it's going to be the next day, but take every single opportunity that comes your way.
Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates.
Welcome to our global alumni community.
Good morning. Welcome graduates and guests to this very special occasion. To comply with safety regulations, I would like to point out the emergency exits in the Great Hall. Please note your nearest green emergency exit. As a courtesy to everyone in the room, I ask that you please switch your mobile phone to silent. We acknowledge that this is a long-awaited occasion. COVID-19 has likely further extended that wait. The situation has also required us to make some modifications to the ceremony. Graduates, under this different ceremony format, we ask that you rise from your seat when your name is called and remain standing in front of your chair, forward-facing, while your qualification title is announced. You will then acknowledge your achievement by doffing. This is tipping your caps towards the Chancellor. You can then retake your seat as the audience applauds. Your guests should remain seated. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, we will instruct each graduate and your guests when it is time for you to leave your seats. You will be exiting in turn using the front and the rear doors, and a photograph will be taken of you and your guests. An electronic copy of this photograph will be available to all graduates to access and share. Graduates, in November, you will be sent an invitation to complete the Graduate Outcome Survey. This gathers feedback on your higher education experience to improve the experience for future students. We strive to provide the best possible university experience for our students, but this cannot be achieved without your valuable feedback. We would appreciate you watching for an email to your university account so that you can assist us with this. Some of the terminology used in today's ceremony may be unfamiliar to you. To assist in your appreciation, of the ceremony, we have provided a history of graduation and an explanation of the terms in the graduation booklet. The academic procession will enter the Great Hall in a few moments. When the procession enters, could you please rise and remain standing for the singing of the Australian National Anthem? Thank you.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special graduation ceremony. On behalf of the University of Newcastle, I respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Pambalan clan of the Awabakal Nation, on whose traditional land this campus is located. I pay my respects to elders past, present and future. Today, we celebrate your endurance and commitment throughout 2019 and 2020. You as graduates are a very special group of people whose determination and resilience is remarkable by any measure. Because of these trying years that are now hopefully behind us, our 2021 graduation ceremonies take on an additional uniqueness and sense of celebration this year. And I must just mention that unfortunately some graduates and their family have not been able to make it today because of the Sydney constraints, which is a great pity indeed. But I'm very glad to see that we've got all of you with us. Congratulations to our graduates. Today you'll leave here as a graduate of a very fine institution, one which prioritises excellence through education, life readiness as well as job readiness, a sense of community and partnership, fostering opportunities for students to learn beyond the classroom. These principles and the opportunities that are presented will serve you well as you forge your careers. Some of you have joined us on our research journey that is focused on delivering impact and innovation with a steady vision of working with industry to support the development of our region. The university's focus on excellence in education and research impact sits hand in glove with a long-held commitment to equity. I know many of you here today are the first person in your family to achieve a university education. You should feel proud and you should enjoy the pride that your family and friends feel in this as well. Today is also a celebration of your uniqueness as individuals. We are proud that we offer the opportunity of education to students from all walks of life, anyone with the talent and determination. It's an achievement for our university above many others in the sector to say that we pave the way for students from all backgrounds and circumstances, and we seek to do more. Today we should all share in that pride and congratulate each other on realising your potential. Today's celebration of the completion of your studies marks another important milestone. You become an alumnus within the university's network of alumni that stretches across the world, now comprises over 148,000 members in 144 countries. The network and its chapters offer unique opportunities to connect professionally and socially with other alumni, and I encourage you to stay in touch. In doing so, you'll keep very good company. One such example is University of Newcastle graduate Dr. Barbie Ravindran, who was announced as Newcastle's Young Citizen of the Year in 2019. Dr. Barbie is a John Hunter Hospital doctor who has been recognised for his outstanding contribution to the medical professional at such a young age. He's worked with the United Nations and World Health Organization on a number of leading international population health projects, and in 2016 convened a global health conference which he arranged to be delivered from his hometown of Newcastle. Dr. Barbie's conference drew more than 850 medical students from across the world to discuss public health and global governance issues. The impact of this conference continues to be felt and has positioned our region as an international attraction for speakers and thought leaders in health and other sectors. As you, our graduates, embark on 2021 with bright futures ahead of you, think about the impact that you can make and how you'll make your own individual impact on the world. We're very much behind you. Today, you'll be presented with a pin featuring a design by Aboriginal artist and alumna of the university, Jasmine Cratchin. The artwork from the pin undertaken is taken from the piece hanging to my left here in the Great Hall. This artwork symbolises the university's renewed commitment to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander education, research and engagement. Please take the time to read the full story of the artwork inside the card that you'll receive. I'll finish by acknowledging that today is the culmination of many years of hard work, and this ceremony is a symbol of all you've achieved during your time here at the university. This includes an acknowledgement of the support of your family and friends who've been with you every step of the way on your journey to today. To family and friends, we sincerely thank you for the important role you've played in reaching this important milestone. Again, my heartfelt congratulations to each of you. We're so pleased to have been able to host you today in person. I now call on our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alex Zielinski AO, to introduce today's occasional speaker.
Chancellor, I have great pleasure introducing Professor Bedad Bogateri to deliver today's occasional address. Professor Bedad Bogateri is a world-renowned energy technology expert and the Director of the Priority Research Centre for Frontier Energy Technologies and Utilisation at the University of Newcastle. In his role, Professor Bogateri directs the university in continuing developments of new applications in renewable energy, hydrogen and emission reduction measures, including negative emissions technologies. The underlying theme of Professor Bogateri's research is thermofluid engineering, encompassing applications in the general fields of energy and environment. Professor Bogateri has authored in excess of 450 scholarly publications, including 3 books, holds 6 patents, and has won numerous awards for his work. He's attracted in excess of $63 million of research funding and has supervised 42 PhD students. Professor Bogateri is the co-inventor of several technologies, including the Granex heat engine, Grancell desalination, VAMCO for the removal of fugitive methane emissions, and the hydro harvester of atmospheric water generator. Professor Bogateri is a fellow of the Institute of Engineers and the Australian Institute of Energy. Professor Bogateri has a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Shiraz University and a Master of Mechanical Engineering and a PhD in Chemical Engineering, both from the University of Sydney. I invite Professor Bogateri to provide today's occasional address.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the University, families and friends of graduates, and most importantly, graduates. Congratulations. Today, you're joining the ranks of a generation before you in a timeless quest for knowledge. I'm very honored and humbled to be here today. There is a special place in my heart for the University of Newcastle. I've been working here for 24 years and have been in and out of these doors on so many occasions. So it's wonderful to be here this morning. I'd like to start also by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land in which the university resides and pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. I extend this acknowledgement to the irrevocable people of the land in which the Callaghan campus resides and which I work. No doubt, many of you are wondering why this speaker was chosen. Well, that makes 2 of us. Because I don't know the answer to that question, but I'd like to think it's nothing to do with travel restrictions due to COVID. Whatever the reason, it's very fitting that I'm standing here because having educated an army of engineers over my career, I know who really deserves a lot of the honors that are being given to the graduates today. It's the parents and family members in the audience who are not wearing academic dress. The sacrifice, wisdom, the value transfer that comes from one generation to the next cannot be underestimated. Parents and family, I'd like to congratulate you today because without your support and at times relentless pressure, nagging, guilt trips, and unreasonably high expectations, half of these kids wouldn't be here today. So thank you, because our country needs every single one of them. And to you graduates, think about the sacrifices that your parents and family have gone through to get you here today. Financial sacrifices alone are mind-boggling. It costs $1.1 million to raise a child from birth until graduation from the university. Now imagine how many Mercedes your parents could have bought with that money. Well, how many investment properties they could have had, not necessarily in Newcastle, probably a shoebox, but that's beside the point. Well, what do they get in return? Well, they go home today, and after 22 years of child raising, they are unemployed. No more child raising. But your parents are still extremely proud of you. You cannot imagine the sense of relief they're experiencing. And if you want my advice, today would be the best time to ask for money. I've been asked to offer offer you practical insights to assist you in your future careers, as well as challenges and rewards you may expect to face. But unfortunately, I'm not an inspirational speaker, never have been. And I'm not going to give you any career advice because I've never had really something that most people consider a real job. Academia has always been considered something outside the real world. Besides, I think graduation speeches were really invented largely to ensure that outgoing students are not released into the world before they've been properly sedated. So, with that in mind, I'm not going to follow the norm. Instead, at the ripe old age of 55.8, I'd like to share some of my life lessons with you. I've been fortunate to have had large groups of young people listening to what I say over the years, and hopefully today would be another day. So let's get started. Life lesson number 1. Individuality is the key to success. Be individual. Not necessarily today you've got to keep on your outfits. It has to be identical. But the point is, follow your heart and your passion. Stay true to yourself and be prepared for obstacles along the way. Remember, a path with no obstacle most likely doesn't go anywhere. And importantly, don't follow someone else's path unless, of course, you're lost in the bush. Don't be shy to express your opinion. But remember what a famous philosopher, whose name I can't remember, said. Opinions are like bottoms. Everybody has one. So yours should be constantly and thoroughly examined. So what it means is, the point is, because for the record we're talking about opinions, his point is you must be hard on your opinions. Take them out for road tests. Be critical. Be intellectually rigorous. Identify your biases when forming your opinions, and don't express anything that comes to your mind. Life lesson 3. Have a dream and be ambitious, but focus on passionate pursuit of short-term goals, because you might be dead by the time you realize your big dream. So you may as well enjoy the journey. And remember, the most intimidating yet truly exciting thing about the life ahead of you is that there is no more core curriculum, no more core subjects. The entire place is elective. So you must make choices, and for that you need plan. Plan well, because failing to plan is planning for failure. 4, be happy and content with what you have or achieved, but don't think about it too much. Happiness tends to fade away quickly. I'll never forget the joy on my daughter's face when she saw the PlayStation box under the Christmas tree last year. Sadly, her joy disappeared once she found out that the box only contained the socks that I had bought her for Christmas. So life is cruel. 5, don't brag about your intellectual capacity. Yeah, you're smart, you finish university. Be sensitive to other people. Nobody likes irritating smugs. I read an article once about a chimpanzee with an IQ of 180, probably more than me, who died because it was rejected by other chimpanzees. I wasn't surprised at all, because the story proved to me that even in the animal kingdom, nobody likes a wise guy. Be honest. It's a key to success. Dishonesty slows you down in your journey. Let me share with you a true story. A few years ago, 2 of my students showed up late for final exam. They claimed they had a flat tire. They demanded a rescheduled exam, to which I agreed. I'll never forget the surprise on their faces when they saw the one and only exam question, which read, "Which tire got flat?" Never forget how lucky you are to be here today. You had 1 out of 250 million chances to become an embryo in the first place. Just that's a big odd. Then you were raised by a nice family who could support your secondary and tertiary education. Alternatively, you could have been raised by an extremely unpleasant family. In this case, you have my sympathy. But the point is, that makes you even, luckier to be here today. And because you're so lucky, make your life useful. Help others who are less fortunate. 8, and that's the last point, by the way. Appreciate hope and despair. We live in a most critical time in the history of our species. Our challenges are enormous. Population growth, climate change, food and water insecurity, ecotoxicology, and biodiversity collapse, all their problems. According to the United Nations, the world's population will rise to about 1.2 billion by 2100, an increase of nearly 3.6 billion from the current population of 7.6 billion. We live longer than ever before, but are very susceptible to diseases, as proven by the COVID pandemic. Access to food and water and safe shelter is more uncertain for more people than ever before. About 10% of the world's population, or about 780 million people, are currently living under water-stressed conditions. And this figure is expected to rise to 4.8 billion by 2035. So, why am I introducing such a note of despair? I do it because I believe despair and hope are the two sides of the same coin. Yes, our challenges have conspired to bring existential threat to our species, but my hope is that together we can develop the necessary solutions. This is already happening every day around the world. Scientists and engineers, including our own here in Newcastle, are tackling grand challenges in offices, laboratories, and in the field. They're applying their knowledge and creating and working towards new technologies and commercial enterprises. Scientists and engineers are also helping politicians to draft tighter and more effective policy frameworks to bring improvements in the health and the environmental arenas. You can join them and be part of the quest to find urgently needed solutions. You hold potential and power in your hands, the power to create a new kind of future for our people and our planet. Now, if that sounds like a recruitment ad, you're partly correct. My colleagues and I are desperate to get high-quality postgraduate students. So if anybody is interested, come and see us afterwards. Last note, before I wrap up, I'd like to take a moment to thank my amazing colleagues here who have given you so much to prepare you for your future careers. I know in any graduate cohort, we might have a few characters. So I wonder if my colleagues want to single out any of those characters before they go, before we let them go. If not, I better finish my speech. Thank you for indulging me, and good luck, everyone. We all need it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Mogdetiri. Being an engineer, it's just simply a matter of following those steps, and you'll be enormously successful. The university is very proud of Professor Mogdetiri and his colleagues who've done some marvellous work. I mean, he and the group have been enormously productive if you look at the volume of research and the relevance of the research. But also, it's been very unique in that it's not only been targeted on a specific application, they've also found different applications for using those same technologies, always with a view to them actually being implemented and making an impact. And that's so very important for research in a university setting. It's very important that ultimately they have an impact on the world around us. Professor Mogdetiri, thank you very much for your insightful and very well delivered talk to us here today. Thank you indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a very important aspect of this ceremony. For this, I'm going to ask that all of our graduates, would you please stand, just the graduates? Thank you. As Chancellor of this university, I now officially confer awards to all those candidates who have fulfilled the conditions for admission of that award. And I wonder if everybody would join me in applauding the wonderful achievement of these graduates. Thank you. Would you please be seated? And I now call on Professor Lee Smith, Pro-Vice-Chancellor for the College of Engineering, Science and the Environment, to present today's graduates.
Chancellor, I present to you the candidates who have fulfilled the conditions for admissions to awards of this university. Graduates, would you please stand as your name is announced? Doctor of Philosophy graduates have undertaken a programme of independent supervised study for the equivalent of up to 4 years of full-time study. These graduates have produced significant and original research outcomes, culminating in a thesis which has been independently examined by external experts of international standing. Today, the university is proud to honour graduates who have satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of Doctor of Philosophy. Indishe Sananyake, graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Sinanyake's thesis is entitled Estimating Soil Moisture at a High Spatial Resolution with Remote Sensing. Dr. Sinanyake. Carly Malise, graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Malise's thesis is entitled Breathing and Behaviour, Exploring Infant Temperament and Autism Risk in Infants Born to Mothers with Asthma. Dr. Malise. Laura Wall, graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Wall's thesis is entitled Modelling Cognitive Performance in Schizophrenia and Across Tasks. Dr. Wall. Rhea Barnett, graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Barnett's thesis is entitled Density Modifications in a Fusion Plasma Driven by the Ponderomotive Force. Dr. Barnett. Andrew Hart, graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Hart's thesis is entitled Development of a Solar Fabric Energy System. Dr. Hart. Levi Tegg, graduating with a Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Tegg's thesis is entitled Synthesis and Characterization of Sodium, Tungsten, Bronze Nanoparticles for Applications in Plasmonics. Dr. Tegg. Congratulations to these higher degree by research students. Chancellor, I will now present graduates of postgraduate coursework and undergraduate degrees. Alexander Armstrong, graduating with a Master of Architecture with distinction. Haneen Isa, graduating with a Master of Architecture. Shoyang Ma, graduating with a Master of Architecture. Hayden Pritchard, graduating with a Master of Architecture. Marissa Niven, graduating with a Master of Business Psychology with distinction. Nicole Bennett, graduating with a Master of Clinical Psychology with distinction. Madeline Cordingley, graduating with a Master of Clinical Psychology with distinction. Tanya Hopwood, graduating with a Master of Clinical Psychology with distinction. Hannah Kirkwood, graduating with a Master of Clinical Psychology with distinction. Eliza Skelton, graduating with a Master of Clinical Psychology with distinction. William Hyman, graduating with a Master of Disaster Resilience and Sustainable Development. Samantha Hill, graduating with a Master of Environmental Management and Sustainability. Lauren Hibbard, graduating with a Master of Information Technology. Mohammed Fahud Karimi, graduating with a Master of Information Technology. Lucas Maidman, graduating with a Master of Information Technology. Morgan Kafer, graduating with a Master of Studies. Pierre Alain Viguera, graduating with a Master of Laws. Annika Stott, graduating with a Graduate Certificate in Environmental Management and Sustainability. Nicole Skillen, graduating with a Bachelor of Biotechnology Honours with Honours Class 1. Luke Gerasimo, graduating with a Bachelor of Biotechnology. Abby Hughes, graduating with a Bachelor of Biotechnology. Sean Bailey, graduating with a Bachelor of Computer Science. Jeremiah Smith, graduating with a Bachelor of Computer Science. Joshua Sullivan, graduating with a Bachelor of Computer Science. Cleona Dreelan, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 1. Jake Higgins, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 1. James O'Connor, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 1. Lisa Warwick, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 1. Harrison Brake, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. John Dreelan, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. William Freeth, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. William Gilliland, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Jackson Gosling, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Luke Librano, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Hayden Kegg, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 2. Declan Picone, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 2. Alexander Davies, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours. Nicholas Marseille, graduating with a Bachelor of Construction Management Building Honours. Jack Olive, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture with distinction. Thomas Waller, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture with distinction. Brianna Almond, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Ellen Blanche, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Austin Bond, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Samuel Gibbs, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Hannah Lennon, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Kirsten Mayer, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Joshua Matthews, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Braden Rand, graduating with a Bachelor of Design Architecture. Lachlan Southgate, graduating with a Bachelor of Design, Architecture. Karen Arthur, graduating with a Bachelor of Development Studies with distinction. John T. Donald, graduating with a Bachelor of Development Studies with distinction. Harrison Drewer, graduating with a Bachelor of Development Studies with distinction and a Bachelor of Business. Camille Wills, graduating with a Bachelor of Development Studies with distinction. James Bryce, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Civil with Honours Class 1. Jake Graham, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Civil with Honours Class 1. Zachary Grondin, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Civil with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Luke Butt, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Civil. Michelle Vo, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Civil. Michael Fraser, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Electrical with Honours Class 2 Division 1 and Bachelor of Business with distinction. Sebastian Consani, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Electrical with Honours Class 2 Division 1 and Bachelor of Mathematics. Andrew Vui Shen Wong, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Electrical with Honours Class 2 Division 2. Joshua Wall, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Mechanical. Andrew Wright, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Mechatronics. Nathan Davidson, graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering Honours Software. Danielle Nicol, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Engineering Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates at this time.
Thank you, Professor Smith. We'll now enjoy a short musical interlude by Ms. Sophie Arquette and Mr. Terence Koo performing Vienna by Billy Joel. Both Ms. Arquette and Mr. Koo are graduates of this university's music program. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sophie and Terence. I now invite Professor Smith to continue presenting graduates.
Chancellor, I present Megan Ferguson, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Science and Management with distinction. Benjamin Cox, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Science and Management. Nina Lane Kerwin, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Science and Management. Lane Lindsay, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Science and Management. James O'Connor, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Science and Management Honours. Taylor Stein, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Science and Management Honours with Honours Class 1. Nicholas Kumar, graduating with a Bachelor of Information Technology with distinction. Lachlan Carney, graduating with a Bachelor of Information Technology. Jake Henderson, graduating with a Bachelor of Information Technology. Elizabeth Reed, graduating with a Bachelor of Mathematics with distinction. Connor Simpson, graduating with a Bachelor of Mathematics with distinction and Bachelor of Mathematics Honours with Honours Class 1. Matthew Williams, graduating with a Bachelor of Mathematics with distinction. Samuel O'Brien, graduating with a Bachelor of Mathematics. Madison Hemmings, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science with distinction. Olivia Brangwyn, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Jack Devon, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Sarah Pauline Foloso, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Slater Isenbert, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Alexa Lee, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Brodie Lynch, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Sarah McRae, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Siobhan Milliner, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Brooke Paterick, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Sophie Roseby, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Jennifer Stutchbury, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Cameron Thompson, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Kin Young, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychological Science. Elise Burge, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 1. Tori English, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 1. Rebecca Fellows, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 1. Ashley Old, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 1. Kate Purcell, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 1. Amelia Rofe, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 1. Georgia Stafford, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 1. Alia Assis, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Ursula Thresh, graduating with a Bachelor of Science Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Jade Bennett, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Liam Damour, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Hazel Erin, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Julia Macris, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Helena Prodojevic, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Skylar Steele, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Jennifer Palumo, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 2. Caitlin Slee, graduating with a Bachelor of Psychology Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 2. Natasha Harrison, graduating with a Bachelor of Science with Distinction and Bachelor of Science Honours with Honours Class 1. Grace Chensi, graduating with a Bachelor of Science Honours with Honours Class 1. Jordan Harding Frame, graduating with a Bachelor of Science. Nicholas Mahood, graduating with a Bachelor of Science. Jacob Parker, graduating with a Bachelor of Science. Daniel Rath, graduating with a Bachelor of Science. Rihanna Young, graduating with a Bachelor of Science. Simone Johnson, graduating with a Bachelor of Laws Honours and Diploma in Legal Practice. Jack Meek, graduating with a Bachelor of Laws Honours and Diploma in Legal Practice. Stephanie Sandhoff, graduating with a Bachelor of Design, Architecture. Stephanie Wiebe, graduating with a Bachelor of Design, Architecture. Tom Condurso, graduating with a Bachelor of Design, Architecture. Genevieve Kenworthy, graduating with a Bachelor of Design, Architecture. This one. Okay. Brooklyn Scott, graduating with a Bachelor of Design, Architecture. David Wilkinson, graduating with a Master of Clinical Psychology with Distinction. Danielle Nicol, graduating with a Bachelor of Environmental Engineering Honours with Honours Class 2 Division 1. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates.
I invite Mr. Alexander Armstrong, who's graduating today with a Master of Architecture with Distinction, to speak on behalf of the graduates. Thank you, Alexander.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the University, families and friends of graduates, and most importantly, graduates. I feel very privileged to speak on behalf of so many great people. It was only a few weeks ago where after watching my partner graduate via Zoom, I was thinking to myself, who is this guy telling me what I should be doing with myself? Well, anyway, here I am. First off, take a second, be proud of yourself and appreciate the moment. Regardless of where you are in your life or your career, graduating is such an amazing achievement, and you'll always have it to propel you onto your next step. We don't live in a vacuum. Through my education, I enjoyed working alongside such amazing people that helped me think critically, who gave me applicable, practical lessons, and who helped guide my personal progression. On behalf of all the graduates, I'd like to thank all the teachers in the audience and wherever else. Please know that your efforts always amount to improvement, even if you don't get a chance to see it. Luckily for me, I get to address so many intelligent people from the fields of architecture, psychology, construction management, biotechnology, and environmental science. Unluckily, words of wisdom on the poetics of architectural space would probably fall on deaf ears. So I'd like to pass on 2 tidbits of wisdom that I've received from special teachers, one in education and one in practice. The first is to stay with the trouble. At the end of the amazing journey of university, where we challenged ourselves and pulled through, a need for the graduates to switch off the mind is totally understandable. However, going out into practice is the best opportunity for us to begin to actualise the changes that we sought for while studying. To me, the saying, staying with the trouble, is to stay in the headspace of these challenging, overwhelming problems that many of us started to take on in university, and to chip away at them rather than just sweep them under the rug. For me so far, connecting the dots between passions unearthed while studying and the work that I've ended up doing has been my most rewarding to date, and I encourage all the graduates to keep going and to stay with the trouble. The second pearl passed on you've probably heard, but it's always important to remember, is to never stop learning. The most curious teachers I've had are always the most interested, engaged, and informed. They're also generally the healthiest and the happiest. For me, I believe it can be an attitude to the world and others rather than a quality that you simply have or don't have. It can be a way to upskill or better comprehend your work, but also to stay connected to others and to keep your mind fresh for the time ahead. Be open as you continue in your fields and never stop learning. To wrap up, I'd like to thank my loving parents and family, my partner who I studied side by side with and is hopefully watching online, and to the community of great people I met while studying here. I really enjoyed myself at this uni. To the graduates, I hope you can take a moment to celebrate. Congratulations and enjoy yourselves.
Thank you, Alexander, for speaking so well on behalf of all of your colleagues here today, and with a great deal of wisdom. I think clearly you, as a group of graduates, are entering a world that's really challenged at the moment. It could be argued that some of the macro trends that are with us, with global warming, the effects of the pandemic, and perhaps some geopolitical issues as well, make your future complex and challenging. And it's interesting listening to the mix of areas that you've focused on in your studies, that in the room we've got people who can certainly identify and quantify the issues, and we've got people in the room who can solve them. So thank you for highlighting where you go from here. It is a world of continual learning, but it's a world of challenge and potential satisfaction in solving some of these fairly intractable challenges we face. So thank you, Andrew, for speaking. I hope that everyone has enjoyed today's ceremony, and I thank you for joining the university community in the celebration of the awarding of degrees. Before I declare the ceremony concluded, I'd like us to applaud once again, so that this time I'd like to ask that the graduates remain seated, and all of my colleagues up here and our colleagues in the audience to join me in applauding once more the wonderful achievement of these graduates. Mind standing? Yeah. Thank you all very much. I now declare the ceremony concluded. Once again, congratulations to the graduates. Go out and make a difference. Thank you.